up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Happy Thursday afternoon to you and yours. That took a second. That took an extra second. This is the Sports Wheelhouse. We normally do the show on Tuesdays.
Facts.
But JD wasn't feeling it. He was not feeling too hot. Too hot to trot.
I wasn't feeling good. I'm gonna be honest. I was feeling kind of down.
So we decided to push it, and then I got a whole bunch of people reach out like, "Yo, are you gonna do a show this week? Because there's things to talk about." And I went, I mean, I can. So we figured
it down. We ain't hard to find. I'm
not gonna say no. So I figure, you know what? Here, we'll do a show, and it's the middle of the afternoon. The sun's out, so I got my shades on. Plus, we got the Dion's. You're not gonna like find me for wearing sunglasses, right, JD?
Nah. But I'm not hard to find. That's what Dion said. So you know we're not hard to find.
So we got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. JD, you have not seen this.
I don't even know if I really want to see it.
I don't think you do. I mean, this was always going to be a good show. I kind of loaded it up a little bit. So for those of you that don't know, because you don't like to stay up too late, this is a show called the Sports Wheelhouse here on the AAT Sports Network, AAT Birds. And what we do is we have a wheel. It's full of topics, and we talk about stuff. So that's what it's going to be.
So the fact that you took the shades off shows me that there's a lot of stuff on there.
So here's the wheel.
Why are there so many topics?
Because we are going to do what we can. I watched sports this week, and I had some thoughts.
This
so
is like
to start,
around the horn.
It is like around the horn. So
we need like 45 more people.
Okay.
Hold on.
Guess we're talking about Colorado right away. So, the Colorado game was one of the most streamed games of all time. It had an incredible buildup. The Colorado State game had an incredible buildup, and it lived up to the hype. Now, they almost had him in the first half. And then all of a sudden, we have a double overtime game. Kenneth checking in. What up? You have a double overtime game. You have all kinds of things going on. JD, what are your thoughts about this Colorado team? They clearly did not dominate by 21 points that the spread said, but still ended up getting the win.
Well, they lost the best player in college football. So let's throw that out there.
True.
The best all-around player in college football was taken out of that game off a dirty hit. So because of that, they struggled to kind of get continuity. They were down for majority of that game. And so it takes a big play from, pretty sure he's a Rice. No, he's not a Rice. Is he a Rice? I think he's a Rice. No.
Are you talking about the pick six?
No,
because he's a Sanders.
I know that guy's a Sanders. But the kid that scored the game tying touchdown, that receiver had been dropping everything.
I think it was Rice.
Rice, I think his name. Plays like that, man. I never watched a Colorado versus Colorado State game ever in my entire life.
Ever.
And I'm a college football connoisseur, so I never watched that game. So for anyone saying that Dion isn't good for college football, you are a freaking liar. You don't know football. I stayed up to 2:30 in the morning watching that game on a school night.
No, it was a Saturday night into a Sunday.
Yeah, but it was school night. Sunday school.
Oh, got you.
Sunday school night. So it was. I've never watched that game before. The Battle of the Boulder, or whatever, Colorado, brawl, whatever.
It was so good. So good. And like so the build-up going up to the game was incredible between, we go to work and we're not all this flash, and literally giving Deion Sanders and his team bulletin board material. And then the game starts and it's, you got a pick six early on, and like it just becomes a good game. And then you've got the hit on Hunter, and we're going to talk a little bit more about targeting moving forward. But I mean, it was definitely a dirty hit. It was clearly, you could talk about whether or not it was, a heat of the play in football. But I got to tell you, man, Deion Sanders, the coach, for Deion to come out and go, look, it was a football play. If you like it, if you don't like it, whatever. But for people to be making death threats against this kid for this hit is absolutely ridiculous.
Let's backtrack for a second.
Let's do it. Right. Kenneth, I agree. Kid should have been chucked.
He should have been tossed. That hit was not a football play. That That was definitely a targeting play.
And a couple NFL guys said, like, flat out, like, if that's not ejection worthy, like, I don't know what is.
Exactly. You take out a kid,
he went to the hospital.
Yeah, kid did definitely go to the hospital. And on top of it, the rule of targeting is to lower the crown of your head to use your helmet as an actual weapon, in that sense. And the kid's going out of bounds. Like, he wasn't even trying to get more yardage. He was a sitting duck. And so that kid is out for 3 to 4 weeks. Some internal damage was done to him.
It was a hit.
It was quite the hit. And if I'm being frank about it, the fact that coach had no more class than to not only not mention the comment, but only go to the aid of his player instead of saying, hey, I don't think this was a great play. It could have went either way. I just think the coach handled it really dirty. And on top of it, Kenneth is saying his kidney, and you know how hard you got to get hit to hurt your damn kidneys. And he got hit in the front. He didn't get hit in the back.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So
no, I mean, again, he went to the hospital. So we're going to further this targeting conversation later on. I had a quick hitter on the wheel, but I do want to talk about it. But again, like, the idea of this game being as big as it is now. Again, people are saying, "Oh, well, Colorado should have rolled that." We know that college football, that's not what happens. You know, these rivalry games, they end up being really good. And if a team like, you know, Alabama is struggling, then a team like Alabama is struggling. You know, they're struggling for a whole different other reasons. But Colorado football, really, they played their asses off. Both teams. Because
I don't want to say this, and I don't want it to be taken lightly. I didn't even know Colorado State had a football team. So to see them go out here and put up a very good, they said it was a laceration.
Kidney laceration.
Holy crap. You scratched someone's kidney. Like, that's crazy. So what I'm basically saying is Colorado State, outside of the hit, they played a really good game, had a really good game plan, gave them all they could handle. Eric be checking in. They gave them all they can handle. So, like, for me personally, as a football fan, I was pleasantly surprised by the game because the spread did say 21. We got to see a Shedeur Sanders that, if he is not at the top of your Heisman list, sir, then you are sadly mistaken. I don't care if you like Jordan Travis or whoever you like, Bo Nix, whoever you like. Shedeur Sanders right now is the front runner for the Heisman Trophy.
He has to,
and it ain't even close. It ain't even close. Caleb Williams, who? Like, it ain't even close. This man is single-handedly picking defenses apart. I don't think he's thrown for less than 300 yards all season.
Probably not. No. But again, at the same time, let's, you know, I think that, you know, they got their big win early on, and now they're coming up to a portion of their schedule where he can either solidify it or ruin it. You know what I mean? Like, he's got Oregon coming up this weekend. He's got USC the next weekend. He's got
big
Oregon.
Game is Utes. That big game's at the end of the season, the Utes with the Utah.
Right. Again, they got Oregon coming up this weekend. They got USC the weekend after that. So the next 2 weeks, you got ranked teams in the top 10.
But Chip, we're not throwing this out there. And I know some people don't know this about college football, but with college football, Pac-12 has been notoriously bad.
Sure, of course.
Defenses. Notoriously bad defense. So I will give him that. But what I will say is, without Travis Hunter, he didn't have a sure-handed receiver left. Those dudes, he would have thrown for 570 yards had they caught some of those balls. Like, he's putting the ball on. The one time the ball hit the kid in the face. Like, I'm just at a point where now, like, Shedeur is by far the best player on that team, and his brother Shiloh ain't bad either. Shiloh
with the pick six was huge,
and he can cover, and he'll come up and hit you. He's not like Prime. He wants to hit you. So, I think it's good for college football. I'm excited about it. I'm watching every Colorado game from here on out. If I'm being completely frank, you know, I'm a Clemson fan. I'm a Clemson.
Well, to be fair, you ain't got much of a team to cheer on there. So
whoa. We got the biggest game. We have the biggest game of the weekend by far in my mind. We play Florida State. It's our chance to get back in the fight.
I know that Colorado-Oregon game is speaking to me.
It is. It's because of Dion.
Well, of course, and he's now trademarking his trademarks.
Which one?
Like, Coach Prime is becoming a licensed trademark. Like, all the stuff that he's talking, all of his catchphrases, all that stuff, he is licensing them.
Like, we coming, we here?
Yes.
I'm going to watch, like, don't get me wrong.
No, he's telling me to watch it, talking smack on on Clemson.
Listen, I am going to watch my Tigers at 12 o'clock. We play at 12 o'clock, so it'll be nothing to impede me. And then after 12, I'm glued. I'm waiting on Colorado to come on. And you know what I'm saying? It's primetime TV, baby.
Yeah, I'm definitely Brill's checking in. I'm definitely checking in too. I'm definitely bandwagoning a little bit. I'm hoping for it, you know.
Why not?
They're an exciting team to watch.
Why not?
All right.
It's go Tiger Buffaloes from now on. Go Tiger Buffalo.
Go Tigers. Oh boy.
This is a piece of shit.
Oh boy.
This is ridiculous.
The NBA resting policy.
Can we rest our GM?
So there is a brand new NBA rest policy. And they are now only allowed to rest one star at a time. And someone who the definition of a star. So the NBA has finally defined what a star is. That's so nice. And it is someone who has made the All-Star or all NBA teams in any of the 3 previous seasons. So you can become an unstar after a while. JD, do you have some thoughts about this?
I mean, this is okay. So I see the business model reason why you do this because
you have to. You do at this point have to do this a little bit
because teams are doing BS. Like, let's just be real. Like, keep it real. Like, Kawhi is the reason that they're doing this. Like the Kawhi Leonards of the world.
Kawhi has attended more Colorado football games than he has attended Clippers games at this point.
Oh man, this is a joke. And Kenneth, I don't know if it's a joke. I just don't know how you. I don't know how you police it. Because if I end of the day, if I sit you out and I can say it's an injury, I didn't like before I was saying I was just load managing, but now I can say he's got a ankle laceration or a cut or whatever, and so
how can you unstar yourself? Well, so say
you
that
need to not make a you don't
so
make
say
a,
that LeBron James does not make the All-Star team for the next 3 seasons,
or make All NBA.
Or all NBA for the next 3 seasons. He unstars. He powers down, if you will, and would then be allowed to rest whenever he wants, basically.
Okay, so this is my question. All right, this is what I would ask.
Which I don't know if he's gonna. So
I would love to talk to Adam Silver about this because what'll happen is they'll actually say that the player is hurt. They'll have no way to prove it, and they'll still sit, but they'll sit for an unknown illness.
And how can the Players Association allow this to happen?
Because they know that there's a way around it. Like that, dude, they don't do anything without an ace in the hole. Like they're gonna say, okay, well, we can. You might say we can't rest because we won't be able to call it load management anymore. What we'll do is say he's got an undisclosed illness, stomach virus, bubble guts, hurt feelings, break up with his girlfriend, child support. Whatever it is.
Yes, Brill, they can define this. They call this year to year. And there's now a list of stars somewhere else. Yes, how can they define an ankle sprain?
Multiple teams. And like on top of it, if you say like, okay, so like this, let's just use our team, the 76ers. So other than Joel Embiid, who's coming to see anybody else? Like I'm not coming to see Harden. So that's the one guy you sit out, then it doesn't bother. You know, it doesn't hurt you. Giannis. Like if you don't go see Giannis, I think it should be the premier star. I don't think it should be multiple stars. I think it should be if you're Giannis, if you're Embiid, if you're that max contract player, then you shouldn't be able to sit. Like Anthony Davis sat for like 2.5 years. Kawhi's sat for like 10 years at this point now. He hasn't really played since they won a championship with the Raptors. That's at least 5 years.
It blows my mind. So here you go. Here's your list. Apparently, I don't know. Actually, I don't know if this is the accurate list. I mean, what blows my mind is that they have to do this. And again, I understand. You saw that the Spurs were notorious for this, and they would sit all of their guys. And we know that.
Ankle. You got one. This guy, Michael
Leonard and George and all that stuff. Like. Sorry, I'm on a different screen. Yeah, Kawhi Leonard has played 5 seasons out of 10, maybe. Yup. muscle fatigue like Messi. Yup. I mean, look, the bottom line is the NBA is worried about their bottom line.
It's not just the bottom line because people are going to pay for it. Let's just be honest. People are going to pay for it. But what it is, you're putting out a bad product. If I got kids that are saving up money, you're teaching me that the regular season don't matter. And that's where you make all your money. That's why you have 150 games or whatever it is now.
So just so you know that this has actually been around since the 2017-2018 season.
Right, but I'm telling you, they started using words and they use different terms.
No more than one star player is unavailable for the same game. So as an example, the Boston Celtics would have to make sure that either Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum is available for both games.
If they're both hurt, you cannot say that.
If they're both hurt, the Celtics would not be allowed to rest both players in the same game.
Right.
Unless both players are determined to be injured. Excuse me.
Right. It's impossible. Like, what about the years that you remember?
They must ensure players are available for national TV and in-season tournament games.
Exactly.
So Devin Booker would not be allowed to sit out the Warriors game for the rest because it's on national television.
I don't think it's a bad sentiment. I just think you can't police it.
They must ensure that healthy players resting are present and visible to fans.
Exactly. If I say I'm hurt, all I gotta do is walk in there limping. Then what?
I mean, it is just here are the players that qualify as stars. Ready? So these are the players that have to be available.
Okay, let's hear it.
Trae Young, Devontae Murray, Ben Simmons.
Watch your mouth.
Tatum, Brown, LaMelo, DeMar, Zach LaVine, Vukovic, Donovan Mitchell, Jared Allen, Darius Garland, Luka, Kyrie, Nikola, Jokic, Wiggins, Draymond, Chris Paul, Fred VanVleet, Halliburton, Kawhi, Paul George, LeBron, Anthony Davis, John Morant, Jaren Jackson, Jimmy Butler, Bam, Giannis, Drew, Chris, Rudy Gobert, Kat, Connolly, Anthony Edwards, Zion has got to play more games. Julius Randle, Shai Gilgeous, Joel Embiid, James Harden, Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Damian Lillard, Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox, Pascal Siakam, and Lauri Markkanen.
I didn't hear Curry on that list. Is he on that list?
Steph Curry, yeah. Steph Curry and Draymond. Sorry, they both weren't highlighted.
Hold on. And they don't have my man on there?
Which one?
The shooter. They got Wiggins on there,
Clay,
but they don't have Clay.
Because Clay just got back. He hasn't been on.
He's missed 3 years. Oh, you're right. He missed 3 years because he missed 2 years.
Correct.
He unstarred himself.
Oh, yeah. Zion is going to get fined first. Yeah.
He's not gonna get fined. They're gonna put strippers in the Coliseum. He'll be all right.
So again, I'm going to be really curious to see how the collective bargaining agreement, how the TV policy, how all this stuff works with all of that.
Let's go. Next topic. I'm telling you, bro, they're gonna put ladies of the night in there. I'm telling you, that's what they're gonna do. That's all you gotta do to get Zion there. That and wings, like Lou needed lemon pepper wings. Sneaks. The butt push.
The tush push. All right, so here's what I'm mad about, right? The NFL did everything that they could this entire offseason and the owners and all that stuff to get rid of the tush push, right? Why? Because the Eagles run it too well. So let me say that again. The Eagles run it too well. Therefore, we shouldn't be allowed to do it. Okay, fine. Get it.
Buffet.
Yeah, the Zion buffet for real. So the Eagles run it too well. Therefore, they should get rid of it. So the Eagles, they don't agree to it. The Eagles are still going to run it. The Eagles have been running it. They've been successful. So other teams are now trying to run it, and they are failing. So because the Eagles run it better, the whole NFL shouldn't do it.
That's not what they're saying. Okay, listen. Let's be real about this.
Tell me about the tush push.
I know the Steelers can't run the tush push, and I'm
they can't.
Steelers.
Although Kenny Pickett could probably crawl himself under. He's very tiny.
He's got small hands. He uses his hands to like reach up under. He'll be all right. Listen, there's certain teams that can run the tush push. There's certain teams that can't. The old school Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger. Let's say they tush push Ben Roethlisberger. Like that is a 400-pound man laying on other 300-pound men. So yes, that would work. But I don't like that. Could probably run the tush push. You got some guys. Maybe.
But this is my point, right? Football stuff. They don't make everything fair. Jalen Hurts is not this huge Ben Roethlisberger size. I'm sorry that the dude squats 450 pounds. You know what? I'm sorry that we have the best offensive line in football and that we have figured out how to do it. You know what? Stop it.
The tush push actually isn't have anything to do with offensive line because
they do because they all pinpoint to Jason Kelce. They literally do an overhead shot of it, and there's no question they know it's coming and they can't stop it. Other teams they know it's coming and they stop it.
No, but what I'm saying is the tush push it doesn't involve the offensive line whatsoever. It only involves the running backs that are behind pushing his tush. Because if not, they're pushing Jalen too. And so you're adding 400 pounds plus whatever those two running backs that are now pushing him can also bench.
But if the offensive line doesn't get low and push back the defensive line a little bit, they have to get low to create that sandwich effect so that he can slide right on top of it.
What the Eagles are going to start doing is pretending they're going to do the butt push, wait everybody close down, and then just send Jalen on the other side and just let them roll.
100%. But again, the fact that the NFL is policing things that are successful, to me, that's like saying, you know what, Devin Hester, you're not allowed to return kickoffs anymore.
You're right, but it's only because it's not sexy.
Who cares?
Can I say sexy online? All right.
Yes, you can say sexy at 5:30 at night. Yes.
Okay. At 5:30 at night, I am saying that the tush push is not sexy, and that's not the tush push that you're thinking of. All right. The tush push is not sexy to football because it's not throwing the ball.
Neither is the running game. So you're going to tell the Eagles that they can't run the ball? We already have the NFL and owners trying to say that we shouldn't be paying running backs because of what you've seen recently.
Exactly. So now you got guys and look at CMC. Like they consider CMC the best running back. He's the same position as Deebo Samuel. He's the same guy. They're the same dude. But that's what I'm saying is your versatility, just like in basketball. Now there's no big men. And so the U.S. is dying because we don't have any big men in this international play because it wasn't sexy to throw the ball down low, to watch the big guys push around, watch the big boy dunks.
There you go. There you go. Brady shouldn't be allowed to throw the ball under 2 minutes. Because he does it too well.
Listen, I am telling you this.
Dak Prescott shouldn't be allowed to throw interceptions because he does it too well.
That's hurtful. I won't stand for any Cowboy slander today.
Okay. What, give it Trayvon Diggs?
Maybe I will. What happened with him?
He tore his ACL in a non-contact drill. He's done for the year.
No. It sucks to suck.
Sucks to suck. Yeah, but again, my point is, how are you going to police guys just because you can't stop it? So you're literally going to change the game because you can't stop it.
It's like that. It's this. They want to speed the game up. They want to make it more sexy. They want to make it more attractive.
Speed the game up. Running the ball keeps the clock running.
No, but it's not like
they want a shootout.
They want a shootout, and they want look at how they do the PIs and stuff now. Corners can't even play D right now. They can't even really lock up. So
you want to have a team that is going to continually go for it on fourth down. You want a team that's going to continually go for it at the goal line. Because analytics say all that thing. That's the Eagles and the tush push. The fact that they're trying to eliminate it is an absolute joke. It's a joke. And other teams running it and not being successful is proof that the Eagles do it too well.
I mean, I'll give you half of that. But the other part of that,
literally saw quarterback sneaks fail this weekend.
I know, but I'm saying it's the
fact. And then they went, it's because the Eagles do it better.
Well, that's true, but it's a little narcissistic to say it when it's your team that
I'm okay with that.
That's why everybody hates us.
No one likes us. We don't care.
Still, listen,
Kenneth and Brill, I'm not putting up any of those comments.
Wow, about the Cowboy Nations?
Yeah. All right, so I have come up with a new segment.
Kids versus parents. Let's do it.
Okay. So I had an idea.
I know the idea. Let's go. Let's roll with it. I don't even need you to explain it. Let's just do it.
Well, I want to tell the people. Can I tell the people?
Okay, fair enough.
So the people is we have a lot of these father-son combinations that both play the same sport. So I have a couple of father-son situations, and we're going to choose who we would rather pick. And we're talking prime time. We're basically talking prime players.
Who done it better? No pun intended.
So Vladimir Guerrero or Vlad Guerrero Jr.?
Vlad Guerrero.
Why?
I just feel like the era was different. I mean, I do like Vlad Guerrero Jr., but in my mind, I go with the pops on this one.
All right. Kenneth agrees. He goes pops. I'm going son. I mean, this is tough for me because Vladimir Guerrero was like a straight up beast. You know, he played for the Montreal Expos. He went over to the Angels. He did work over there. Home run derby champion, cannon of an arm. The kid.
Did he play for the Blue Jays too?
He did play for the Blue Jays too.
Okay, I think it's sure.
Right?
Only reason I know that because I had a jersey because I like the hat.
Vlad Guerrero Jr., the hype was there since the beginning, and then he's backed it up, right?
But
he's backed it up.
He had hype is because his dad was nice.
I understand, right? But then he's backed it up. There's been plenty of guys that like you come out and you're not as good as dad.
Well, he's still not good as dad. He just backed up what he did. He's still not as good as his dad.
So for me, I'm going to agree that with dad on this one because I like the cannon outfield arm over the third baseman / first baseman ability. I think both of their bats are demonic and destructive, but I do think that dad wins this one here for me.
I don't know why you tried to argue with me then.
I was just
going to go my way.
I was talking the whole story, man.
Oh, man.
I'm painting the picture. I'm a storyteller.
Oh, man.
And he has more years to go. I agree with that too. All right, round 2. Which Harrison are you taking? Marvin Harrison or Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Okay, I'm going to
This is a great one.
I'm going to say this now. I think because his upside is so high, is I'm going to go with Son. But I know that he's a Hall of Famer. I know Marvin Harrison is a Hall of Famer. But I am telling you, the stuff I've seen the little one do is like he's got daddy plus some. So, and I've seen him scorch dudes. So I'm going to go with Son just because I think that his upside is so high.
So
plus Marvin Harrison played with Peyton Manning.
So then that's a great segue into my point. So for me, I agree. I'm taking Marvin Harrison Jr. because like Marvin Harrison was a great wide receiver. There's no denying that. But he played with the greatest throwing quarterback of all time.
Easily the greatest throwing quarterback.
The greatest throwing quarterback of all time in Peyton Manning. Now, played with Dogs Jr. is the soft football era. Oh, Junior.
He's going with the dad is better because the Junior's playing in a softer era.
Right, but here's the thing. Right? Son is not in the pros. We're talking upside here. I get Kenneth, I get it.
We're talking upside. We're talking about his ceiling.
Upside.
His ceiling is crazy.
I think that look, Marvin Harrison Jr. is doing things in college with quarterbacks that are not that great.
You know Ohio State ain't got no quarterback. Y'all know that.
You see with Justin Fields. Justin Fields is not a good NFL quarterback. We have learned that, and I've been saying that for forever.
That dude is bun cheeks.
I think that Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to have a more explosive career. I think he's going to have bigger numbers because, again, we're talking about passing league. I think Marvin Harrison benefited from the fact that Peyton Manning is the greatest throwing quarterback of all time.
I believe I will say this. And it's going to kind of maybe split everybody kind of in half there, but Marvin Harrison Jr. in this era will benefit because of the PI and that they can't put.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He is an absolute matchup nightmare. Dude is long, he is fast, he is aggressive, and he wants to do damage to you. And he's got a crazy route tree. So I'm telling you, he's dad plus some. So. And in the age where you guys are saying like Marvin Harrison had to go up against guys like Troy Polamalu and all those guys. Like he wasn't playing against some weirdos. Like he's playing against some dudes. So yeah.
I mean, again, that's just for me. All right. You knew it was coming.
These are prime. It's not even close. No, I'm not saying, and let me, I don't want to disrespect Shadir. I don't want to disrespect him at all. Like, but prime is a different animal. Like that dude did it in multiple sports, and on top of doing it in multiple sports, my man did it when it's Optimus Prime time, baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he was so popular that I hate the Dallas Cowboys and I like Deion. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no debate. Like, there's really not.
This one there is no debate.
Did Deion win the Heisman though?
No.
So Shadir can. This is the only issue with Shadir. Shadir's upside is very high too, but I can't go against Prime because of who Prime is and who he continues to be. I just think that Shadir might be able to make a name for himself, and if he can, with Dad being kind of still being out there, he's going to show how good the kid really is because his dad casts a huge shadow.
Right, and still does. So he doesn't have to deal with as much of the spotlight and the things like that. So I think that when Shadir gets to the NFL, we're going to see what he really is because, you know, Deion's not going to go up to the NFL. He's made that very clear. I do not see Deion Sanders coaching in the NFL. I just don't. But Deion Sanders, again, as an Eagles fan, I hate saying this, but he is one of, if not the greatest cornerback to ever play the game.
He is the greatest Dallas Cowboy of all time. And I don't take that Emmitt Smith. I don't care about Emmitt Smith. I don't care about Michael Irvin. I don't care about Troy Aikman. I don't care about none of that. I'm telling you, Deion Sanders is the most notable Dallas Cowboy.
And he was absolutely destructive as a 49er.
I'm telling you, he was an Atlanta Falcon too.
Yeah.
I don't care about nothing. When I think of Dallas, when I think of Deion Sanders, I only think of the Cowboys. It is not even close.
Yeah. I agree with that. I mean, I think that Deion is definitely the winner of this debate.
He might be the best athlete of all time. Like, let's just go there. I'm telling you,
I mean, Bo Jackson is the other one you would bring up. I mean, Jim Thorpe, if you're going back way back before television was a thing.
Michael Jordan?
Not greatest athlete. No, you've seen his batting average. Stop it.
Listen, I just said he did it on a high level. Like, not everybody can make it to AAA. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I would say Kyler Murray, but he can't stand up to the fact. So,
that's rough. You gonna say DJ Anguilele? He got drafted by the
DJ Huko Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, also known as Mr. Sierra.
Yeah. Did you saw Deion play with the Falcons? That's cool. All right.
Listen, Deion. Okay, so one more thing before we go on. Hold that thought right there. I just want to look at Deion real quick because this segue to this. I looked at some stuff between Jerry Rice and Deion Sanders, and these were absolute battles. Like, I can't remember if they played together when he was in San Francisco, but these are unbelievable battles with Jerry Rice. Like, they used to go at it, and this is probably in Jerry Rice in my mind is the best receiver of all time, and I know people will say Randy Moss, and I think it's probably debatable, but he went at it with Jerry Rice.
Yeah,
arguably the best wide receiver of all time, and they battled. So I don't know. He might be the best athlete of all time. Now that I think about it, like, that dude's a beast.
Yeah. All right.
Jerry Jones.
Oh, Jerry
World.
And I don't like to put this man on my wheel very often. I don't like to put this man on my screen very often. But Jerry Jones, all people, came out with the following sentence.
Jerry Jones.
Yeah, needs to stay in the zone box and let the Cowboys be. And I quote, Jerry Jones would like to increase minority ownership in the NFL. Jerry Jones.
I know what you said.
The most racist owner in NFL football. The one who said any player that decides to take a knee for the flag and all that stuff back when Kaepernick was doing his thing will be removed from my team.
I'm going to be real with you, man.
Would like to increase minority ownership. And I know personally, when I think of guys speaking up for the minority cause, the top of my list is Jerry Jones.
Listen, Jerry Jones is he's a joke. He's a joke. The people have spoken. The Cowboys fans have spoken. And they have said they want this guy to just stay in the box. He speaks about stuff. He puts his foot in his mouth so often, but he's so rich that you can't really cancel him.
No.
Or you can't cancel him. He's so rich. He has money everywhere. He may be one of the richest people in the world. I just believe when it comes to Jerry Jones is with whatever cause is going to make him look better. Because in reality, when all the Black Lives Matter stuff happened, he was on the forefront of saying, hey, we can't he was the guy with the Texans saying that you can't let the inmates run the asylum. Yeah.
Be real right here.
He just wants to, that's real. He's telling everything. It's just basically telling you he's going to be with whatever cause is going to make him look good. And
it's the ultimate politician move. It's the ultimate politician move.
But what he should do is, because he has this great, beautiful stadium, he should be trying to get his team in the damn Super Bowl. He should be worried about that. Like getting
Kenneth, that's my team, but Jerry's an ass. He'll be there till he dies. Yeah. And again, it's bad. It was the same thing with Washington with Dan Snyder. When the fan base is going, you gotta go. You gotta go.
And I don't know if he's got like some CTE or early on-site dementia. Maybe he didn't realize what he said 4 years ago. Maybe he didn't realize. But I'm telling you now that even when they talked about buying the Commanders, he was trying to block the buying of the Commanders. If I'm not mistaken, I remember reading that headline. He didn't want it to be a minority group. He's a weirdo. He has to have on-set dementia because he can't remember what's what. Like, you are a GM, you're not a coach.
Real, he's saying somebody needs to get him on tape doing or saying some stuff. I mean, it didn't affect New England, dude. You know, getting his rub dubs.
Look at my boy Kraft. Kraft ain't said nothing since he got done getting, getting that happy, the ending.
I mean, I just don't think it matters. And when you watch the HBO show Ballers, like, there is literally a character based off of Jerry Jones.
The guy that's on there, and he's basically him.
That'd be the 1990s. You have to crack out your VCR there, buddy.
When was the line? I mean, I get it, y'all. That's why I'm telling y'all that
whenever they bought tickets.
The Cowboys have hosted more Super Bowls than they have been in the last 25 years.
Yeah, they are the ultimate Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately situation.
I just feel like Janet Jackson has been to the Super Bowl more times than the Cowboys.
She has, because she took out a movie.
And she was banned. Like, I'm pretty sure she got banned. And so what I'm saying is, like, you have this nice facility, right? You have this nice facility, and like you have this great facility, like, and everybody plays in this thing, but you, like, and when the big game, everybody's playing.
There have been more national basketball championships than NFL championships.
Like, look at Dallas. Dallas is split between the NBA. It's split between the NBA the Dallas Mavericks and the Dallas Cowboys. And look how those teams are both run. Dallas Mavericks are run very well. Mark Cuban does a very great job. He stays out of stuff he shouldn't be in, and the stuff that he should be in front of, he gets in front of it and he speaks his piece and be done. You don't see him getting rug and tugs. But the Dallas Mavericks have a great organization, and people hate leaving when they have to leave. And on top of that, they generate they develop talent. Look at what they did with Jalen Brunson.
Absolutely.
They develop talent. So, but then if you look at the Cowboys don't develop anyone. If anything, they cause hate and discontent. Like, they've been trying to get rid of Dak Prescott for the last 3 years in like a nice way. Like, hey, we're gonna find your replacement. Hey, we're gonna find your replacement. Hey, we're gonna hold your money. But you're gonna find your replacement. You're the best thing we got. We're gonna find your replacement.
And Dak is pissed. Like, don't get me wrong, Dak is pissed. Name one owner everyone hates. Dan Snyder, former owner.
Dan Snyder.
The dude from the Clippers.
No, the dude from the Raiders. No, was it the Raiders too? No, the Clippers. Clippers. He was bad.
Yeah, Don Sterling.
They're in the same vein, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, Al Davis was just a creeper.
No.
He might, as long as Dak is going to win him games. The second that they're going to put in, remember, Jerry Jones was the one pushing for Johnny Manziel to be the starting quarterback of the team and was pissed that he wasn't drafted. The Colts owner, Jim Irsay. Now, people in Indianapolis love him.
Yeah, the Redskins is pretty. The people hate the New York facility though. Like, may not hate an owner, but they hate that facility.
Well, we're gonna talk about.
It's terrible.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So again, I'm just saying, like, the Jerry Jones minority owner thing that didn't rub the right way.
Yeah, and it not in the same way that Kraft got rubbed.
Okay.
Which one? That was a little low. That was a little low.
Okay, this is a real quick one. Aaron Rodgers. Well,
you're loading something.
Yeah. So Aaron Rodgers.
You gotta take the thing off.
I'm working on. I gotta remember which one it is. Hold up.
It's just a little bit. It says overlays. I think
it's on is it the overlay or the logo? Hold up.
It's the overlay.
Overlay. Hold up.
Yahtzee.
Aaron Rodgers said on the Pat McAfee show that the sound of dolphins having sex is therapeutic to his body in regards to his Achilles injury. Keep this man away from SeaWorld.
What?
This man is apparently going to try and make a comeback this season, going through non-regulation means.
Like, what does he mean? Like, he's gonna stick his leg in there while dolphins are doing the nasty?
Uh-huh. Or just the sounds.
What? He's a dolphin.
This man is a weirdo. And I'm surprised they even were able to manage to find a photo of Aaron Rodgers in full Jets uniform because he was only in the game for 4 plays.
He might. I think we need to get him checked for CTE. Like, I mean, I know he went out for an Achilles injury. But we need to put him in the same group that's meeting with Antonio Brown, because my man is off the reservation.
Oh
my
my
man's
God.
off the reservation. Don't you say anything about Antonio Brown. You know how I feel about him.
He wasn't. And in fact,
he's not trolling us.
Peanut, he wasn't. And in fact, when he said this, he said something like stupid before that. And Pat McAfee was like, hold up, did you mean that word? And like he had the guy look up the word and he's like, that's not the word I meant. Like, I'm pretty sure Aaron Rodgers just spends most of his time like on drugs.
Okay, I'm gonna throw this out there. Remember, he does. You know how he does these in the offseason? He does these ayahuascas and all this stuff, and he goes and lives in a hut and all this stuff. So we always thought that Shailene Woodley was the weirdo, but I'm thinking that we now know that Aaron Rodgers is now the weirdo. Either that or she turned him out, which that could also be a situation as well. But I think he drank the Kool-Aid, he liked it, and he hasn't stopped drinking it.
I mean, when I came across this, and by the way, why is he in a photo with Nicolas Cage? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand this image. He looks like Nicolas Cage from Con Air.
No, that's him, because
I know. I was making a joke.
I mean, I'm saying I just think that's what he looks like. He's trying to look like a lumberjack, like a great value version.
He looks like he belongs in the movie Con Air. I don't know. It's just this is.
He's gonna take over hijack a plane.
Peanut. I spend most of my time on drugs. Never wanted dolphins fornicating near me, man. I don't know, man. I want to insert a joke here about a blowhole.
Nope. 5:30.
Getting flippered off, but again, it's 5:45 at night. We're not in our usual moonlight hours. So
if you call us at our regular time on our regular bat station, then maybe.
I'm gonna keep this a little cleaner than usual.
Yep. My kids are still awake. That happens. We could get canceled.
Oh boy.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
So something happened and it really bothered me. Right? And I'm going to show a video clip because, we're high tech like that.
I know you've been waiting to show this all day.
I've been waiting to show this clip. So the score of this game
is out of reach. Yes.
It's out of reach, right? It's on the screen, right?
Yeah.
Tennessee is going to be upset by Florida. There is 9 seconds left. They are lined up for a kneel down. It is 29-16. It's 4th and 16. They got to kneel down and kill a little bit of clock, right? It's all there.
Is that Tim Tebow?
It is not Tim Tebow. It's a different number 15. And then this happens.
It's a joke.
On 4th and 16, he'll run around as the clock ticks down and now get knocked down.
I'm going to stop right there for a second. That hit is unnecessary.
Is it though?
And because of the unnecessary hit,
a flag comes out, and that is a fitting ending to things.
Here we go.
Now get some, dude. What's up?
I'm
gonna square up.
Throwing fists.
Look at my man squaring up. My man in the end zone realized that he was in trouble. Like he was like, "Oh, this guy's me."
Calling this timeout, and then the late hit.
It's not a late hit.
No, hold on. Here's the issue. The play before this, Tennessee called a timeout.
To stop the clock?
Let me say that again. The clock was running. They were kneeling it down. Tennessee called a timeout to stop the clock.
Okay.
Causing this 4th down play.
Okay. Let me be real. Let's keep it a beat. Should Tennessee be giving up? No. Like that's where this whole thing. Like they should be trying to play to the end.
Yeah, this is unfortunate.
And they just let the clock run out at that point, clear the field. We're done.
The question is here though. Like, why didn't 15 just run? Like, just kneel. Why didn't he just kneel? Why did he do that?
Because, again, they had to kill 9 seconds off the clock.
No, he could have just literally kneeled and gave them the ball back, and it wouldn't have mattered. The outcome of the game wouldn't have been stopped. This is Florida's fault just as much as it's Tennessee's fault.
We know. Yeah. We know there's unwritten rules in football.
He was trolling.
We are aware of the unwritten rules of football. I think this broke a lot of them. And then for there to be a straight up square up fight.
Listen,
come on now.
That ain't no fight. The last fight I seen in football was when Clemson fought South Carolina, and my homie got there and stomped the guy on the ground. Listen, it's one of the best photos ever taken of a Clemson versus South Carolina game. But I will tell you this. I will say this. More and more, we're starting to see guys act out of character at these football and basketball games. Like we're starting to see more fights, more aggressive stuff happening, and it's not being controlled by the players and the coaches. So at the end of the day, tempers are rising, and like there's things going on, but at the same time, like as a coach, you can't let it get to that point. Like he should have just downed the ball. And they gave him the ball back, and they still wouldn't have been able to do anything with it. Even if they would have scored, they would have needed a miracle. They would need like a 2-point, some type of touchdown to be able to.
And it's the same thing, like, you know, when the Rams were down by 10 and they decided to kick the field goal as time expires, and everyone goes, oh, well, they're just trying to beat the spread.
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. But at the same time, I just think that the reason why there's these unwritten rules in football is to protect from stuff like this happening. Tennessee and Florida is a rivalry game.
Yes.
And apparently it's the captains, the ones that are fighting.
Yeah. Because think about this, like, and I want everybody to put their thinking caps on. Like I tell my kids, put your thinking caps on and let's do this. If you were a player and you know your temper is high, you know that it's more high than anything. I know you guys will, but my issue is you have to learn how to win with grace and lose with grace. We talk a lot to our kids about how we lose and how we win, right? Like at my high school, we talk a lot about that. Like it's just as important to know how to lose with grace as it is to learn how to win with grace. You can't be up there, throwing up your gang sign in front of your dude that you just beat because you expect them not to shoot the fade with you, because that's what kids want to do when they get their feelings hurt. They want to shoot the fade. They want to show that they're manly. Yeah, you might have beat us on this field, but I'm gonna beat you with these hands. Like that is the mentality of the kids.
Right. I may not beat you, but I'm gonna hurt you.
Yeah, it's like, hey man, if I can't beat you, I'm gonna beat you another way. So like we got to get away from that, and we got to stop trying to show our masculinity by trying to hurt somebody with our hands. Like you didn't beat me with your mind and with your skill, so now you got to fight me. Like that's crazy. Like
who punches helmets? Like we did this with Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph all those years. Who's punching helmets?
Well, he didn't. Well, he hit him with a helmet, so like he broke the mold there. So
the crown molding.
Until we start to like change the narrative on like, hey, sportsmanship is really cool to have sportsmanship, like go shake a hand afterward, but it's also to show your class. Like you have to show your class. Like
you beat me. Okay,
yeah, you beat me straight up. Like, hey, wasn't no cheating. Like you beat me. Like, yeah, was it petty for you to run around and like kneel? Like, yeah, but at the same time, like I don't have to stoop to that level. Like we took this loss, we going home, we gonna have to take this long ride back to the crib, no matter what. So why do we got to go with a black eye? Like, and literally with a physical black eye, and then with a black eye to our our reputation or to our program. Like we don't have to lose that. Like we tell our guys all the time, this is something I take all the time to them. Everybody doesn't deserve to have that conversation with me. You don't get to have a conversation with me. Like sometimes it ain't worth it. So people got to start doing that. Once we start having those type of conversations, all this other like petty crap will go away.
In theory, in hopes.
In hopes.
All right. Couple more topics. We're doing a good job. I like it. Some of these are quick hitters. Some of these are maybe a little discussion. In fact, we are going to do
targeting.
So again, there have been some really bad hits this week.
There was one really bad too at the Clemson game a couple weeks ago.
Right. There have been some really bad hits. So I'm watching the games, and specifically I was watching the Colorado game. And we know that it ended up with Travis Hunter getting, a lacerated kidney and being, taken to the hospital and all that stuff. So I have a potential rule change that I would like to throw your way.
I'm ready.
And I feel like you're going to hate it.
Am I?
I don't know. So here's my suggestion. If a player is ejected for targeting, right, and it is clear targeting, like we almost have to have like a panel of independent people going, that was targeting, and it's like, kind of like a thumbs up, thumbs down situation.
I actually thought about this. You're going the same way I was thinking, so I'm not going to be mad about this.
Should the offending player be forced to sit until the targeted player returns, whether that is later in the game, whether that is a week, whether that is the rest of the season?
I agree with that. I'm going to tell you why.
Ooh.
Because there are people in the game that the young people call crash apps. And they are just sent out there to just harm, basically like putting bounties on people.
It was when you have professional hockey, you've got your enforcers.
Yeah. So back in the day when it was the Broad Street Bullies, they used to bully everybody. And so Like, my thing is, if you're taking out my best player, which Travis Hunter is the best player in
with
this
some
moment,
bum skitty.
Yeah, some stuff that you could have pulled up.
Donald Brashear was an enforcer for the Flyers.
So if let's say you get that infraction, because now if you hit a guy hard enough, he's going into concussion protocol. So he's out for at least a week. Probably going to miss the next game. If not more than that. Because not only will you be, and if you pull, like if a guy pulls up and you just and you're going for a slide and I try to pull up and I still body you with and you hit your head, I'm sorry, because the slide thing is a joke.
Right, but that's not really targeting. You know what I mean? That's like speed of play. And real saying here, like, I agree, because I would make everyone think before they act. I don't necessarily want the thinking to happen in the middle of a play. I want the thinking to happen before the play. Same way in baseball, you're like, I'm gonna beat this guy to start a fight. You know what I mean? Like, I want some of that. Like, I enjoy a fight as much as anybody. But when you are out there intent to hurt people, like, there's a difference in baseball when you throw it at the small of a guy's back. That's making a statement. When you throw it at a guy's face with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, that's a different conversation. That is safety of the players, right? That's what I mean. They would know it before it even happens. Again, if it is clear-cut targeting, like the Travis Hunter hit, like the Clemson hit that you mentioned, I feel it is not out of the realm of going, you know what? That guy's going to miss 3 weeks. You're going to miss 3 weeks.
Because when they do it, a lot of times it is an important player on the other team as well. It's normally not like somebody they do put in to be that enforcer, but it's normally that more aggressive guy. Like in what game was that we watched? In the first Colorado game, the guy that actually did throw out, like, that was a aggressive hit too.
Yes, it was.
But that was a makeup call for the Travis Hunter hit. If people don't realize, that's the same team. So they were going out there. So I don't know what Colorado State's coach said to them, but they was out there headhunting. And when you get teams that are out there like headhunting and doing stuff like that, there should be a 3-game minimum, because at some point you have to prove the point, like, hey, we're not going to allow this in our league. Make the tackles, wrap up, keep your head up so you don't hurt your neck as well. But listen, it's still a violent sport. So we do need to make sure that we are keeping that in mind. Like, you can't do everything, but you should be pulling up, not trying to run through guys, trying to put your chest down on guys. Like, even in the scrum, when the guys are down on the ground, like, dudes are getting their eyes poked out and fingers in their nose and like hitting the balls. If you like Christian Wilkins, for whatever reason, he wants to do weird stuff. Like, you can't do that. Like, there's no place in the game for that.
Right. Hits like that can be season ending. What if Travis Hunter got carted off? Would it be different? And that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, if you are going to straight up obliterate a guy with no intent for their safety, then I don't think that, like, I think that should affect you. We talk about all the time, like, making decisions, like, for the good of our kids and, for the good of society. Why is sports any different? Because we want them to be warriors, which leads to that, that fighting, which we saw at the end of the Tennessee-Florida game. Like,
I say the coach should get suspended. F it. Like, let's just do it. If your guy intentionally, if that panel meets and your player is kicked out the game for intentionally targeting someone, the coach and the player go. If you take the coach and the player, they would think twice. And guys would, like, because when those guys come over there, they don't always get chewed out by the coach. Like, that guy didn't chew out his player for knocking Travis Hunter out of the game. He didn't chew out his player for trying to knock Shedeur Sanders out. They didn't do that. What he did was he went over there and talked to him, slapped his helmet, like, yo, that's what we do. And then realized it was targeting, and then nothing else happened. Like, you kick that coach out too. You can't control your players no better than that. Find the coach.
They're making millions of dollars. Yeah, for sure.
Find them, sit them out. And,
like, again, this kid has been getting death threats for this hit, which is completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous.
I do think it's ridiculous, but you have to look at the kid's mannerisms after the hit was delivered.
And that's what I was going to get into. It makes it not even more even playing field. It makes it safer overall.
Because what you did was the player from Colorado State who comes over and hits Travis Hunter, he's fired up about it, knowing good and well you got flagged for the same hit. It's his mannerisms afterward, like, yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, like, to me, that lets me know there was some nasty intent behind it. You didn't try to catch the guy or, like, kind of be worried about him. You're over there high-fiving your friends and, like, chest bumping dudes like you made the football play. That's not a football play. The football play was to push him out of bounds. That was the football play.
Right. And that's where I think like the independent counsel of like, 4 or 5 players, like that kind of thing. Like you look at it after the game and you make those decisions. Like you look at the whole thing.
I think you take it to New York like you do every other replay. New York decides, that you send it to New York. You let New York decide what the play is. And I'm with Braille. The coach didn't seem to care. And that's why I have an issue with it.
Right.
So the death threat is like, is somebody's life ever worth a football game? No. But to say that people are pissed off that your guy celebrated when another guy was injured.
Yeah, don't kick me when I'm down.
Yeah, that's distasteful.
So I don't know. I had that thought and, figured like, hey.
No, I would agree with you on that one, but I might even add some extra.
Well, speaking of, is anything worth death in a football game?
Death in the stands.
Apparently, it's really not fun to be a Baltimore fan, a Patriots fan, because apparently there's some of these awful humans. And at the Patriots, what was it? Patriots Dolphins? No, who did Patriots play?
I don't remember, but it was someone.
But a fan, it was Patriots in Baltimore. A fan died in the stands after getting punched in the head, cracking his head on the steps, and died.
Automatic manslaughter.
Automatic manslaughter. And again, you have people recording it instead of breaking up the fight. I mean, what's going to end up happening is, and again, Philly always gets the bad rep for the Santa Claus thing that happened, 50 damn years ago. But what's going to end up happening is alcohol is not going to be sold in stadiums if stuff like this continues to happen. They're going to ban everybody. But is there really a way to stop this?
Yeah.
What?
The issue is that there's people, they have these like usher type people that are at NFL football games. We've all seen them. They got on they're like event staff. They got on these little vests. They got a microphone. They got like a walkie-talkie. When you see signs that something's about to go down, you just lock them people up. You just lock them up. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's too many bad things. First of all, you're on an elevated surface. You're in a stands. The stands have never lost to any person. They're undefeated.
Yeah. So, it's concrete.
Yeah. So you got to get to a point.
And it's been bad fights. Like, I think that's a really big point. Like you saw, Houston Texans, there was a huge brawl in their rotunda. You saw fights over in San Francisco. Like, there are fights every single which way, and no one is stopping anything. It is becoming a big problem.
The only thing people want to do is take their phone out. All they want to do is, like, they see it coming. They take that bad boy out and start recording. And so it used to be where you had like some good Samaritans would step in, but now that's not even a thing anymore. So yeah, until we get that under control, like, you're not gonna be able to control it. It's gonna be mayhem.
I don't know. I don't like to see. And again, this guy was a season ticket holder, and I don't know why I'm spinning it. It's literally one topic.
I don't know what you're doing.
So quick hits is one of my new other favorite topics. It's because I get to just bring up things that have come across my way. They want to do it for the likes and social media attention. All right. So, quick hit that I would like to discuss with you. Number 1, Robert Griffin III, who has volunteered himself to be the Jets' backup quarterback. That was so nice of him. Also made a statement about this collective bargaining agreement in specifics for running backs. He wants running back players to demand that all rookie contracts last 3 years, regardless of the draft position, and to eliminate franchise tags for all players. This comes in response to Saquon Barkley getting hurt. He's on a franchise tag. It comes from Nick Chubb probably ending his career. And running backs just career. I mean, it was bad. They wouldn't even show it on TV. And then I did
see it.
Oh,
it was a nasty little thing. But like I'm saying, like the technology now is so much different.
Jonathan Taylor not playing. Josh Jacobs, -9 rushing yards, but really holding out as long as possible. Miles Sanders, you have all these running backs. Dalvin Cook, who didn't get paid. Now he looks not great over in New York, but at the same time, you had Aaron Rodgers was the plan. And now, Zach Wilson doesn't scare anybody. But RG3 is basically saying, should there be a different set of rules for running backs?
There should be, but it should be like they're trying to take, because running backs aren't sexy anymore. Like
it's all about the sexy. We talk about this.
You know, Barry Sanders. You know, back in the day, like Jerome Bettis. Even though he was a big dude, he was sexy. Like as far as like getting the ball to him and running. Emmitt Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. But
all right, quick hit too. It would cost the NFL only around $12 million to convert all fields to all grass fields.
I mean, there should be a requirement for every owner to have grass fields. Like,
do you know MLS soccer will not play on the NFL fields that don't have grass?
Because think about it, like planting. It's the plant. It's the cut. It's all that. Like, it's like playing on carpet. Like, I would never play a football game in my office building. That's not gonna happen. Like, I was bad enough when I was in the Navy.
The ones that like hang over the door.
No. I can't go hard on that. That'll hurt you.
Is this Dallas Mavericks team good enough to win a title?
No.
Ooh.
No.
Ooh. Are they going to be better than last year?
I don't see a big. Where's your big at?
Well, they don't have one.
Because you got to take on Utah. So you need a big that can defend against Jokic. So you're already behind the 8 ball because they already got all those guards that you see there. They already got all those guards to defend. Now the X factor for them is you have to have a big that can compete. So the only person in the East with the West that can defend Utah is probably the Lakers. And I hate saying that because I do hate the Lakers, but I digress.
All right. Would you play in the Luka tournament on the water?
Well, no, because I cannot swim. I have to you know that. That's why you said that. You jerk. And I don't care. This is why I hate it here. And no, I would not play there.
You would not play in the Luka tournament?
You remember the movie? Was it not New Jack City? Is it Above the Rim? At the beginning, when my man's playing outside and my man falls off the roof.
Yeah.
That would be very similar to that. I would jump, go dunk the ball, lay it up real hard, fall in the water.
Oh.
Yo, listen, like you. Whoa. First of all, that's what. Let me clear this up real quick. The Navy doesn't mean we run around with flippers on and we swim all day. We on a boat. Like we're on a boat for a majority of the time. The only time you have to swim in the Navy is when they do swim calls, and nobody does that. Especially people of my pigment. They do not get in there like that. But I digress. Braille, call me after this show. Hit me up on the line.
Boston will.
On the lines.
There is a conversation. Yes, XFL, please send the St. Louis Battlehawks up. You can have the New York Giants. Which kind of leads me to my quick hit. You have the XFL and the USFL trying to merge into a super minor league football team.
That's not going to work.
No, nobody wants to watch football that's not the NFL.
But I will say this. If they could get absorbed by the team that they were near their city and have a minor league team that would be a farm team for when guys got hurt, that would be kind of cool.
That's what the practice squad is for.
Man, them dudes don't never get called up.
Yes, we do. We were calling up a punter again this week.
Dude, the punter is one down. I'm talking about like skill position dudes, like dudes that like really like guys that they could like develop. Like maybe you're not good enough to go to the NFL right today.
We have a lot of fun, man. We have way too much fun.
We do have a lot of fun, bro. We're probably gonna get canceled.
We're definitely gonna get canceled. But what about we've talked about this before? The idea of the worst team in football. They don't get the number 1 draft pick. They get relegated down to crap football, like they do with soccer over in Europe. And the team that wins whatever minor league championship gets bumped up.
I'm okay with that, but what I'm saying is like you still a gap in talent, and so like just because
I can agree with that one.
The Giants are a bad team. But are they worse than the Cardinals?
At least the Cardinals are fighting with Josh Dobbs as their quarterback.
Listen, they've won. Have they won a game?
No.
And on top of it, the Lions a couple years ago, the Lions were a bad team. Now they're decent.
I got a few more quick hits, and this is one I know you're gonna love. If you leave me out playing with Taiwan and I'm dropping 85, says Dwight Howard, on playing Team USA in the 2024 Paris Olympics.
God, it's 5. If it wasn't 5:30, I have some stuff to say, man. God, it's 5:30. 6 o'clock somewhere.
Dwight Howard is not dropping 85 points on Team USA.
Can I plead the fifth on this? Because there's some things I would like to say.
So what you're saying is bring this back next week when we go back late. When we go back late.
If we go back late, then I'll definitely speak on this.
All right.
That's because he wants to play in Taiwan. That says enough alone.
All right. Final three. I don't have a graphic for it, but number one, baseball. Ronald Acuna has just got his 68th. Wow. Okay. Brio's going for it. All right. Just got his 68th or 69th steal of the season. It's the last. No one's stolen this much in recent years. So is Acuna's record because the bases are bigger and there's the new pitch clock rules, or is it valid Ricky Henderson style?
It's valid, and it's valid for a couple different reasons. Like there's been a couple guys in history of baseball, including Jackie Robinson, who has been. When you're the most athletic guy playing with guys who aren't as athletic, it seems like you're having an advantage. And Acuna is a very athletic guy. He's a little shorter than most, but he's very, very quick and agile. So he's
the bases are bigger and they can't pick off as much.
Well, that's true, but also you gotta have some speed too. I mean, dude is definitely doing some stuff. And I'm right down the street from Atlanta, so I hear a lot of the sports talk radio about him. So I will say that Acuna is I think he's definitely a generational talent. So yeah, it might be valid. We have to see some more. We'll need more stuff, but I think he is a little different. And I think because of that, that's going to make a difference. We can see how long he can do it for.
All right, ready? My dinner is going to go off in 30 seconds. Ready? 2 topics, 10 seconds each. Kelly Oubre, does he make the Sixers a championship contender?
No one will.
All right.
Jesus could come back and it'll be the only thing that help us.
All right, topic 2. Is Deshaun Watson done?
No, he just needs a little bit more time.
How much more time are you possibly going to give this man? 6 seconds.
Give him 3 more games.
Okay. I'm Chip. That's Strip. Thank you guys for watching. There's the beepity. Thank you all, man. What a great show. Great comments. Okay, bye.